Wild Wolf Brewery is the exclusive sponsor of AugustaFreePress.com. Coverage in the NCAA tournament in Madison Square Garden. Join us for the NCAA tournament games. Our lively sports bar features large screen HD TVs and a BuzzTime entertainment system. Wild Wolf Brewing Company, Nellisburg, Virginia. Online at wildwolfbeer.com.
Chris Graham, Jerry Carter, Augusta Free Press, and we're just a few blocks away as we talk right now from Madison Square Garden. In fact, Jerry, we've already been in the Garden today. Virginia, Michigan State, Sweet 16, just a few hours away. And Jerry, thoughts on the game? This is a heavyweight matchup between these two teams.
Well, the first thing to let you know right off the bat, Chris, that you're in a very special place. The plaque at the entrance to Madison Square Garden reads, quote, "the world's most famous arena." And if you've never had a chance to see a game inside here, whether you get the Spike Lee seats or not, it's worth the price of admission. And tonight is going to be an awesome matchup. Chris, I'm going to go as far as saying I think it's a landmark game in the coaching career of Tony Bennett. I think if Bennett gets a W here, it takes him to the next level as far as what his team has accomplished this year.
Fifth season for Tony Bennett, 44 years old. I noted in a column that Tom Izzo went to his first Final Four at the age of 44. Been watching the Michigan State message boards, and they talk about how much more experience their coach has over Coach Bennett. Also, I've pointed out that, nobody goes to their first Final Four until they go to their first Final Four. So the Cavs tonight have a chance to obviously defend that number 1 seed. The number 4 seeded Michigan State Spartans, though, have been the sexy pick to be the national champions this year. So this should be an interesting game in that respect. I think we've got two teams here who easily could have been number 1 seeds.
Well, and something else you got to look at, too, because Bennett and Tommy Amaker are a similar style of coaches as far as smart game planning, meticulous. You look what Harvard did to Michigan State. Not only did they play them to the buzzer, they erased a 16-point deficit and took the lead against Michigan State. I promise you, the Who staff has watched that film up one side and down the other. And as far as UVA, if you're neutral about the first game, you're pulling for Iowa State because you want the Connecticut fans to go home. And you don't want to have to face UConn in their backyard on Sunday.
How could I figure that you would give us a Duke reference there? Jerry Carter giving that insight. Tommy Amaker, that was an interesting game, though. I got to watch a lot of the second half of that game, and I think Harvard maybe did lay a blueprint down for Virginia to follow. And, of course, Virginia, in their third-round game, their second game in the tournament, vastly improving upon their first performance. Coastal Carolina game in the second round, their opener, the 116 game. Virginia trailed by 5 at halftime, but dominated the second half in what turned out to be a 70-59 victory. The win over Memphis, a very talented team. Certainly, there's a few NBA players in the future on that team, but Virginia dominated the pace, dominated play in a 78-60 win. So the Cavs are as confident as they can be. I think Michigan State's as confident as they can be. So you got two confident teams. You got two very healthy teams going into this game. Michigan State, one thing I did pick up from the message boards earlier this week when I was spinning through there was that Michigan State has had their starters down at different points of the season. They've only had their starting 5 together really for the last couple of weeks, and they're together. They're winning basketball games. So, wow, what a game this should be.
Player to watch for me tonight's going to be Gill. I love the energy he brings on the floor. He does things offensively. He hustles on defense. And you got to find somebody to get Mitchell involved in the offense early. You know he's going to play defense. You know he's going to be there. You got to get him a couple good looks early. And Harris has got to be willing to drive to the basket when he doesn't hit his first 3.
I'm going to go with Mitchell as my key player of the game, Akil Mitchell. As offensively, if he can get 8 to 10 points, I'd be happy with that. But defensively, against Adrian Payne, the senior, he'll soon be named a first-team All-American. I'm almost certain of that'll be the case. He shoots well from inside the paint. He's a 6'10 center who can score with his back to the basket. Also shoots 43% from three-point range. But Akil Mitchell did a pretty good job twice this year on a player that arguably is maybe a step above Jabari Parker, including in the ACC championship game. So if Akil Mitchell can do his job defensively, give you 6, 8, 10 points, I think Virginia wins this game.
Again, go Cyclones early, go Who's late. And make sure you check back and catch all of the post-game interviews, win, lose, or draw, as Chris Graham, we promise you, will work well into the night. And say a prayer for Crystal that she'll survive the whole thing.
Well, for Jerry Carter and Chris Graham, Augusta Free Press, please do join us on the blog. And we'll be there courtside at Madison Square Garden. Thanks for watching.
Wild Wolf Brewery is the exclusive sponsor of AugustaFreePress.com's coverage in the NCAA tournament in Madison Square Garden.
At Wild Wolf, we pride ourselves on providing amazing food, award-winning beer, and a wonderful experience every time you visit. Located in Nelson County on Route 151, the 10-acre property has many unique features, making it a must-see destination. We're a made-from-scratch restaurant featuring many local ingredients. Our lively sports bar features large-screen HD TVs and a buzz-time entertainment system. Or join us for live music several days a week. The property offers something for everyone, including the kids and Fido. Come enjoy great food and beverages, live music, live trivia and poker tournaments, open mic, cornhole, brewery tours, and more.
Wild Wolf Brewing Company, Nelliesford, Virginia. Online at wildwolfbeer.com.